to go on the road in the spotlight everywhere we go. Turn it up, bring a new high. West Coast feeling, bringing profit with that new swag. Yeah, girl, throw it in the bag. Oh me, I fade 'em. Now they know that I made it. Had to roll up and take it. I've been sleeping way too long. I don't want myself. Praise don't fail. Broke out of this jail.
And if they're mad and they don't wanna party,
let's get money, motherfucker, get money. Let's get money, motherfucker, get money.
Let's get money, motherfucker.
and if they're mad and they don't wanna party, don't wanna party. Don't steal my dumb place, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Jocch's Playbook. We are on episode number 6, and today I changed my camera angle, numero uno. But I thought it would be interesting to take a brief moment out of our busy week of playing Counter-Strike and Dragon to talk a little bit about the upcoming major, some changes for viewers, a little bit about the viewer pass, what we think about it, a little bit about the picks of the first round, and just kind of muse a little bit about what we think is going to happen. AKA, I was ill-prepared for today, and this is the only thing that I've been thinking about Counter-Strike related outside of playing a little bit today. So that's on me. But I figured we gotta have something to talk about Counter-Strike wise. So why not think about our top 8 for the major, aka the pickup. But before we hop into that, get into the game here. And let's just talk a little bit about the changes. So, the viewer pass. Obviously, if you've been a major watcher for previous events, you know that one of the whole points of watching is to attempt to get some souvenir cases. However, this go around, the only way to attain these souvenir cases is by buying the pass, which goes for $9.99. So obviously, a lot of people's immediate reaction is, I don't want to pay $10 for that kind of participation. Why can't I just watch it normally and give me a chance to duke it out with everybody else for the chance at a case? And I understand that sentiment. I get it. However, I think Valve is doing something. I think Valve is doing something very beneficial for both the community and for the ecosystem of Counter-Strike. So, a couple points here. The first thing I want to talk about is I think this is going to be a net benefit for the community. If Valve can start to show some support, because I'm assuming that some of this revenue is going to be shared with the teams, similar to the sticker situation. That's pure speculation because I haven't read anything that says otherwise, but I imagine so. So I think that's good. It gets some more sustainability in there, allows more teams to kind of generate some revenue, because if you have not been following the business side of esports, revenue generation for teams is very difficult once it's outside of sponsorship. So that's why you see some people talking about getting a single league together and having a big revenue share. So I think this is a step in the right direction for the Counter-Strike community as a whole from the business side to create some sustainability for both the players, organizations, and the game as time goes on. The second point I think is really important is you're not actually getting nothing with this pass. You're not getting the opportunity to open cases. You're actually given an opportunity to open more cases because I don't know about you guys, but I usually, hopefully, maybe get one case an event. If you participate with the viewer pass, you have the opportunity to get up to 3 souvenir cases for the match of your choice. So that means you get to pick the map, which means you get to pick the skin pool, which gives you a better chance of maybe getting something you actually want, or getting a higher value item and selling it, which I fully plan on doing if that's what happens. So I think that's a benefit. And the third thing is, I think this is going to be a first real test for the Counter-Strike community. With the release of Blackout, what was it, like 2 or 3 months ago now, a lot of people had anticipated, it's Blackout and free to play. So with that, a lot of people had anticipated this is going to absolutely, blow viewership numbers through the roof. It's going to bring a whole bunch of people to Major. The next Major is going to be the most viewed of all time. And I don't necessarily think that free to play and Blackout, if you even want to call it a BR, is going to drive that viewership. So I think this is going to be an excellent test for Valve to see what exactly they can generate with this. I mean, you have the compendium in Dota 2, which seems to drive that prize pool through the roof every year. And I think hopefully this will take us down the path of doing that for Counter-Strike majors, or even giving us an international type event for Counter-Strike. That would be amazing. Players have asked for it. Spectators have asked for it. I know a lot of people want that. So hopefully this is going to take us down the right path. And obviously the couple benefits that I did mention is, the Steam TV chat flare, get the team graffiti for the duration of the event, which is kind of cool. I still think it shouldn't be charges. You should just, you should have the graffiti. And you get the coin, which you can upgrade over time. And it tracks right along with the pick'em. And I also believe that just by watching the games too, by accumulating time, you're going to be able to upgrade your coin as well. So it does allow you the opportunity to upgrade your coin without necessarily being an expert at, picking winners and losers through the tournament. So that's the first real big change that we sort of see. And I just kind of wanted to briefly talk about, because a lot of people think of it as a negative. I think it's, obviously the $10 isn't fantastic, but you're giving yourself the opportunity to get 3 cases, which is usually, 3 more than people usually get. So I think it's a good move by Valve. I think it's going to have a lot of benefits. I think it's a great test. So hopefully this shows the staying power of Counter-Strike and the watchability of it, and the fan base is really here to stay. Because if you think about it, the game is how old now? A lot of us who started playing, including myself, are in our 30s, approaching 30, and now we're we're real deal consumers. We're not asking mom and dad for $10, right? So hopefully this is gonna work out really well for Valve. As we're on the sticker page, let's just take a couple of quick peeks. MIBR sticker looks incredible. The new liquid sticker looks awesome. Obviously, we got some new teams here. You know, Furia, Greyhound, and not necessarily new, but made the cut. Beachy Gaming, Vitality, Team Spirit. So hey, sticker collectors out there got some new jazz for you. So that's cool as well. And obviously, here's the I am sticker. Awesome. So that's kind of what I briefly want to touch on with that. The next thing now we can focus on is the pick'em. So after you buy your ticket and you activate it, this is what you are presented with. So you get points for all these things that you complete. So I got my first point for activating the coin before the tournament's over. So boom, more bronze. I just need 4 more for my next coin upgrade. So you get 5 points, you get 1. I think it's 5. I think it's 5, 6, and 7. It says it somewhere. I just can't remember off the top of my head. That's not it either. Okay, well maybe it says right here. Oh wait, I know it says it. Out of here. Here. The frequently asked questions box. Your pass. Come on. Give me a moment here. Let's see if I can pull it up. Let's see. Let us. Already a pick'em discussion thread. I will have to peruse through. Reddit always seems to. Sometimes, most of the time, it absolutely. Alright, guys, pull this up real. Here it is. Here it is. Boom, boom, boom. Frequently asked questions. 5. So you get a box at 5, 7, and 11. So point system, I believe, is broken down. Oh, might as well just put it in the chat now. There you go, people. All right, cool. That back in CS, get that on my face. That. Oh, you can't even see if I'm in that little Steam browser deal. So now the meat and potatoes of today. All right, so here's your deal. I get 5 points. I get my deal. What are you talking about? Where's the? Why? I can't even talk about the pick'ems now. Don't do this. Ruins all the content. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, boys. Okay, maybe if I restart Counter-Strike this will work. Hold on. Okay, give me some time. Bear with me. Bear with me. This. Okay, get that going. That. Here. Oh, what the? I just had him in there. All right. So, first round in my opinion, a lot of teams could make it through. However, there's only one team that can go undefeated, and for me, I think that team's gonna be Cloud9. I think Cloud9 is playing very well right now. I think they've been showing a lot of promise in their roster, and I think they're gonna hopefully have what it takes to go undefeated in the first round. Again, a lot of this is going to come down to who they draw in the first round. I could change by then, but let's talk about today. And the team I think is going to go 0-3 is Team Spirit. I just don't think they're going to have any shot drawing any of these teams in the first round. I think Windstrike could also very well be that team, but I'm going to stick with Team Spirit. I don't think VG Gaming is going to make it through. I think Greyhound Gaming and Team Furia are going to be big upsets, and I think Furia is actually going to make it through. Tyloo is such a wild card in this stage because I think they have the ability to beat a lot of these teams depending on the draw and how the rankings shake out. A Vanguard could be a similar team to Tyloo where they have the ability to take maps off of some of these teams. But I don't think they make it through either. I think Renegades, while looking much better, probably not going to do it. In Vega Squadron, I'd probably be similar. So I don't know if this is serendipity, but a lot of teams I think are going to be on this left side. So I think Fnatic's going to make it. I think NRG is going to make it. I'm super excited to have another NA team that is starting to perform well and really get to a higher level. It'd be much more exciting for me if we can have some more NA teams in the the top 10, top 15. NIP, I am scared about, but I think they're going to make it through. I think they have the ability to beat any of these teams. I think Vitality is going to make it through. I really like that French lineup right now. Some people think that Zywu is a little overrated. I tend to disagree. I think he's going to shape up to be a really good player. And speaking of the Frenchman, I'm going to take G2 as well. If you watch them play versus Jocch today, they, in my opinion, looked not too shabby. Definitely good enough to make it through. And the last team I'm going to take is Easy for Ents. I think Ents is also going to make it through. So this is going to be my 8 that make it through to the group stage. So the challenger stage, I think, is going to be just super fun to watch, especially this group of like 7 teams right here. VG Gaming, Windstrike, Greyhound, Furia, Team Spirit, Tyloo, and Vega. I think this is going to be really interesting to Counter-Strike to watch. And oddly enough, I think that the games, the 1-2, 0-2, 2-2 games is going to involve a lot of these teams. But then again, as you predict things, they never go right. So I imagine, hey, we might even see these teams. So, as of right now, this is what I'm going to say is going to happen. I'm going to lock it in. I don't know if it lets me unlock it. Does it? Oh, it does. Okay. So, as of right now, this is what I'm going to go with. And I 100% guarantee you that once the matches are drawn, which I believe the first round of matches is drawn, which I believe is before this thing locks, I might have changed this. I'm 100% going to look at the matchups and see what it looks like. I mean, if Cloud9 draws, what do I think is going to just would most likely be Cloud9? If NRG draws Cloud9 in the first round, that would be detrimental. I think Fnatic is the same way. But I think Cloud9 has the ability to beat these 4 teams for sure, and anyone else they draw. So as long as these 4 teams, or as long as these 3 teams don't play Cloud9 in the first round, I think Cloud9 has a real good shot at going 3-0. But then again, that 1-0 match. So fingers crossed there. And then obviously we'll do this one when the time is appropriate. But what did I want to say? I was going to say something about Furia. I think one of the things I'm most excited about for this major is really watching these teams down here. Like I know I just said it, but I think when you start to get more diversity into the top level of Counter-Strike, I think it's really fun to watch. Like when MIBR and Fnatic and NIP and Astralis are having these incredible runs and they're playing really good Counter-Strike. It is really fun to watch and good to see. However, sometimes it gets stale to see Astralis win over and over and over, or to see whatever team who has a little dynasty, the SK, the MIBR, the Luminosity. It's fun to watch good Counter-Strike. It just gets a little stale and you almost know what the outcome is going to be before the game happens. So this increased parity I think is fantastic. I don't love the way that Valve has gone about it by kind of expanding the major. I think it does lose a little bit of its luster by going that route, by adding more teams. But I do think the upside is you're going to see you get to see more teams on the top stage. You get to watch more top level Counter-Strike of teams that maybe you don't get to see a bunch of games of, or maybe you've never even heard of. Like Furia is pretty much the one that I think is coming out of the darkness, the darkest corner. So this is going to be my picks as of today, February 7th, 2019. I'm excited to see how it plays out. Again, I 1000% bet you that I will change these picks come when the matches are drawn, if they allow me to, and I'll probably make changes based off of who gets drawn. So, such is life, and such is gambling. I guess we can't even talk about these yet, but this is what we got. This is what we got. So, not the deepest of content today. Just kind of blanked a little bit and didn't do a whole bunch of preparing. So I thought I would take some time and talk a little bit about the upcoming major stuff, a little bit about the viewer pass and my thoughts on it, and hopefully we do see some benefit come out of all these things. And fingers crossed I get a lot of these choices right without having to make some changes. So I apologize for not being too prepared for today. However, I hope you enjoyed a little bit of my insight of what I've been thinking, and I promise to come back next week with some better content and some better ideas prepared. So thank you very much. My next Jocch Playbook stream will not be until Monday. I am probably going to prepare something for the map Cache or Nuke, because those are the two maps we have yet to talk about. We've talked about Dust 2, Mirage, talked about Inferno a couple times now, so I want to get some new content out there and talk about a new topic. And another aspect I want to explore next week is just highlighting a player and how they do things. I think we're just going to maybe go down the HLTV list and pick games from the top 10. So we'll watch a simple game, we'll watch a Nico game, and just kind of watch how they basically do things. We don't need to see them have some crazy stellar game, but we can just kind of see what they do, why they do things. So that's kind of my thoughts for next week. A new map game, a player highlight game, and maybe some mid-level stuff. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Tune in next week for all that stuff. I imagine I'll get some time in tonight streaming either some Apex Legends or some Counter-Strike. But tune in for other shows. You can always find them on YouTube as well. So I appreciate you guys. I apologize the lack of preparation that went on today. But I promise you next week will be way, way, way better. Well, thanks for coming in, and have a good night.